biggest recovery possible.
Live from Augusta, breaking news.
Good evening. We now have the arrest warrants for a couple arrested this past Wednesday by the Richmond County Sheriff's Office, both charged with felony cruelty to children in the first degree. Emma Pittman and David James are accused by the Sheriff's Office of causing severe, cruel, and excessive physical pain to a child, resulting in its death. Officials say the incident happened on Tuesday. And we're continuing to follow some breaking news we brought to you last night that left one person dead and 2 others arrested. Just after 7:30 last night, News 12 received tips from viewers about a heavy police presence around exit 18 on I-20. The Edgefield County Sheriff's Office tells us this had to do with a traffic stop that turned into a chase. Our Audrey Dickherber has been following this story, and Audrey, you were live at the scene last night. Have there been any other updates since?
Craig, since last night, we have learned that the driver, identified as 25-year-old Joseph Robertson, died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, and 2 passengers were taken into custody. The incident started with a traffic stop while a deputy was speaking to the driver outside of the vehicle. Robertson jumped from a passenger seat into the driver's seat and sped away. The chase went down Highway 23 to Wrdw Road. During the chase, passengers shot multiple rounds at deputies. The driver crashed the car on exit 18 entrance ramp of I-20. That's when they say Robertson ran from the scene and another was taken into custody. A gunshot was later heard in the woods when they were searching for him. That's when they found him with a gunshot wound. The investigation is still in early stages by the Aiken County Coroner's Office, Sheriff's Office, Edgefield County Sheriff's Office, and SLED. We will continue to keep you updated as we find out more information.
Okay, thank you for checking in on this, Audrey. Well, new at 6, the Barnwell County Sheriff's Office is offering a $500 reward for any information that could lead to an arrest after a shooting this morning that happened on Quail Road. Again, if you have any information, call the Barnwell County Sheriff's Office. Now tossing things over to First Alert meteorologist Emily Acton. We're feeling this fall weather. What's it looking like for the work week?
Yeah, it's definitely chilly out there today. I think we only reached those middle 60s across the CSRA. That dew point is in those upper 50s, so still feels like fall out there. And I mean, with the temperatures, definitely feels like fall. Overcast skies has been the story throughout the greater part of the day today, but not tracking any rainfall just yet for our area. That's going to come late overnight tonight, really around midnight. That's when we can expect to see an isolated shower or two. So you still have plenty of time to get outdoors if you have to get any maybe yard work done or things like that. The rain shouldn't slow you down. Again, that's going to be late overnight tonight, and we're going to cool off into those lower 50s, upper 40s in some spots locally overnight tonight, Craig. And tomorrow, not going to be much warmer than what we saw today. And we're going to be dry for our work week, but there's a chance of rain by our Friday, and I'll have that all broken down for you coming up soon.
Alrighty, thanks for that, Emily. Well, the South Carolina's ban on a popular vehicle modification will soon be in effect. The ban is on the Carolina Squat, which will go into effect on November 12th. After nearly receiving unanimous votes in both chambers of the South Carolina State House back in May before being signed by Governor Henry McMaster. Now, the Carolina Squat is a modification where the front end of a truck or SUV is higher than the back end. Under this new law, drivers will not be allowed to have a truck or SUV where the front fender is raised 4 or more inches above the height of the rear fender. And if you violate this new law, you can face a $100 fine the first time and a $200 fine for a second offense. Now, the death toll in Gaza is the Graniteville Volunteer Fire Department hosted an open house on Saturday at their headquarters just west of Aiken, South Carolina. The community was invited to learn about the daily work the fire department does.
It's really important. We want to make sure we open up the fire station to the community so they can see exactly what their money goes toward.
And the GVW is also holding a smoke detector event where they can install and check your device if you live in their coverage area. You can call the Graniteville, Vaucluse, Warrenville Fire Department to be put on that list. And more than 500 participants hit the road today in the fight against cancer. Paceline, a local nonprofit, held its annual Pace Day celebration, which is a fun bike ride fundraiser to help fund the innovative cancer research at the Georgia Cancer Center. Coming up on News 12 at 11, we'll hear from the project lead at Paceline on the importance of today's event. A mother is making sure her blind son will enjoy the Halloween festivities this month. What she did, coming up. Emily?
Well, we're going to cool off into those 50s overnight tonight. Some spots locally could see those upper 40s, but we'll warm back up tomorrow, and I'll let you know all about that coming up after the break.
On air and online, he comes first with the First Alert Radar Network. First just got faster.
Already taking a look from our tower cam at I-20 over River Watch Parkway. There has been slow-moving traffic on I-20 westbound for travelers coming into Georgia from South Carolina. Construction shut traffic down to a single lane, and we're not sure how long it'll last. Some reports say till tomorrow morning. But, you know, Emily, how is this going to affect things going for drivers? Are we expecting any sort of rain coming into tonight, or is it going to be relatively clear in the skies for our drivers there on the road?
We're going to be cloudy, but that rain's really not going to move through until right around midnight, Craig. So hopefully most people are off the roadways by then, but some might not be. And when I'm talking about rain, this is a small chance here. I don't even think I put it on the 7-day. A couple of isolated showers. Most of us will not see rain. But anyways, just kind of putting that out there. And next up, we have a lot cooler air moving into our area for really our work week. But let's take a look at what we're seeing right now in those low 60s. We only warmed up into the middle 60s this afternoon. Saw a little bit of sun, but mostly cloudy conditions. We're going to be partly to mostly cloudy overnight tonight. And again, that rain's going to move through roughly 11 p.m., but main batch is going to move through around midnight. Again, really not expecting any issues with that. We're going to start off our Monday with overcast skies. Temperatures will be in those low 50s, so definitely recommend a jacket as you head off to work or school tomorrow. Going to see the sun at times, but overall going to be more cloudy than sun throughout the day. We'll warm up in those low 60s. It's going to be another chilly day for us here across the CSRA, so I think it might be safe to say to break out the fall wardrobe. And that cooler air is going to stick around Tuesday morning. We're going to start off with lows in those 40s, so another cold start to our day. We'll warm up into those middle and maybe even upper 60s in some spots for our Tuesday afternoon, so that's some good news there. But let's take a look at the bigger picture of what we're seeing. Again, that cooler air is a little bit more north of us, but that's going to continue. That jet stream is going to continue to drop down into our area, and so that's when we can feel that cooler air for us, and that's going to come Monday, Tuesday. Then it might warm back up just a little bit for the middle of our week, but then once we get into Friday, another cold front is expected to move through, and this is going to bring some rainfall. We're expecting rain come Friday, so it's really looking throughout the greater part of the day, but we'll be able to fine-tune it as we get closer to time there. But just know, hey, Friday's looking a little bit wet out there, but like I said, starting off the week in the 60s for the highs, we'll warm up to the 70s Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Going to be in the 70s, but going to see some rainfall, so might not be able to enjoy those 70s. But hey, next weekend's looking sunny. On the chillier side, I would say, Craig. I mean, it's still the upper 60s. It's not cold, but you're definitely going to need a jacket. It's fall weather. It's football weather, barbecue, bonfire weather, you name it. This is it.
Keeping the jacket in the car at all times. Thanks for the heads up, Emily. Well, for one San Jose mom, celebrating an elaborate Halloween display in front of her home is truly a labor of love. While her son can no longer see it because he's now blind, she hopes he can feel the Halloween spirit in their neighborhood. Marianne Favreau has the story.
No bones about it. This is a labor of love, from the animatronics to the giant rat. Shelly Jimenez spent weeks brewing up this swamp-themed Halloween display in front of her Vernon Avenue home in Willow Glen. She does it all for her 28-year-old son, Chris. He was born premature, later suffered brain damage, has severe lung disease, and in 2020 lost his sight. But despite his health struggles, Chris has always loved Halloween.
He would get such a kick out of when someone would scream because they were frightened by one of the props, and he would be sitting on the couch just laughing his head off.
Shelley started her spooktacular displays in 2019 to bring the fun directly to her son. Since then, more than 600 people visit the changing display every year, with some traveling from as far away as San Diego.
I think of it like as Chris's legacy, how it all, started, but it just snowballed into something bigger that I never ever would have imagined.
Shelley admits with her son's declining health and providing round-the-clock care for him, she almost didn't put up a display this year.
I knew that so many people enjoy it that I really could not let my community down.
Chris's twin sister says the spooky display is a welcome diversion.
It reminds me of times when he was really, really happy.
This haunt is scaring up hope.
I do hope there's a little part in him that knows that
Truly remarkable tradition of love and Halloween as October approaches the end. Now coming up, union workers have reached a tentative deal with Kaiser Permanente after the largest ever U.S. healthcare strike. We'll tell you more about it when News 12 at 6 o'clock continues next.
You can see a lot of lightning here. Cars are out there actually hydroplaning. I think it's a dangerous situation.
Mama?
She's on her way, bud.
Hey, hon. It's nasty out there.
I'm glad you're home.
Stay safe.
I will. Tell them to save me some. When others head in, we head out. Dominion Energy. The new 2020.
October 31st. Now, Madonna kicked off her career-spanning celebration tour at London's O2 Arena last night, marking her first performance since suffering a serious bacterial infection that hospitalized her for several days in June. On stage, the 65-year-old said she had a crazy year that she nor her doctors thought she'd make it through. Last night was the 27th birthday of her daughter, Lourdes Leon, who appeared on stage.
You want to know my secret, and you want to know how I pulled through and how I survived. I thought I got to be there for my children. I have to survive for them.
She rescheduled the North American leg of her tour to start on December 13th and end April 24th. She has a stop in Atlanta on April 1st. Now, after having one of his best career games last week, Desmond Ridder might want to erase today's game against the Commanders from his stat sheet. Alyssa Lyons has the latest from Mercedes-Benz next.
Trick-or-treat blasts.
On your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
Some things are just sweeter in Mercedes-Benz. Ahead of today, the Falcons were 3-0 on their home field. But like any pack of Skittles, there's always one sour in the mix. And today, it came in the form of the Commanders. You better see it to believe it. We haven't seen Kyle Pitts score a touchdown yet this season. 6 weeks in, and here it is. Make it 7-3. This was the only time the Falcons had the lead. They had it close in the fourth. Only a touchdown and 2 away from tying it. But Desmond Ridder is getting to be as consistent as church on a Sunday. Even Bon Jovi can't fix this. It was the second time in 3 weeks that Ridder's had 3 turnovers in a game, and it came at a cost.
I don't think you ever predict that. We've had our chances. Like I said, you got to take advantage of the opportunities. You got to find, turn the ball over, turned it over too much lately. We're making it harder on ourselves. So you can find a lot of ways to make excuses and rationalize it. Bottom line is we didn't win the game. We didn't get the job done. Washington did. So we have to find a way. We have a lot of football left.
We're in a light at the end of the tunnel. Sacked Sam Howell 5 different times. Calais Campbell's big number 100, a big part of that. The Falcons kept the Commanders to 193 yards of total offense. To put that in perspective, the Falcons had double that. The Panthers forced Miami into an early 14-point hole, giving some hope to a team that has not won a single game yet this season. Adam Thielen picked up 100 receiving yards and then some for the second straight game. The flame of hope quickly dwindled when the league's best rushing team took off and didn't look back after coming up short on their first two drives. The Dolphins scored on their next three and take it right out of the Panthers' hands, 42-21. Carolina is now 0-6, the worst start for the Panthers since they went 0-7 in 98.
Well, looking at the next 7 days, not too bad. Definitely starting off cool for our work week. Today, we reach those middle 60s. Tomorrow, going to be a copy and paste forecast. We're going to be dry throughout our work week, except a isolated shower possible late overnight tonight. Hopefully, most of us are indoors around midnight. That's when we're expecting to see a small chance of rain, but that's going to change come Friday. We're going to have a cold front moving through, and that's going to bring some rainfall to our area. Now, exact timing is a little iffy since we are 5-6 days away, but nonetheless, models are getting a little bit more consistent, showing rainfall for our Friday. But hey, next weekend, not looking too bad. Mostly sunny conditions after that front moves through, and temperatures in the 60s, upper 60s, low 70s for the highs. I'm not mad about it.
Thanks for that heads up, Emily, and thank you for joining us here on News 12 at 6 o'clock. But be sure to join us again at 11 for more news, weather, and sports before you start your work week.
Live from Augusta, we're watching News 1226 at 11.
Good evening. A correction from earlier. Tonight we're digging into warrants that detail the critical condition a 6-month-old infant was found in that also put their parents behind bars. The warrants the Richmond County Sheriff's Office revealed the child suffered from several injuries. Audrey Dickherber is live from our newsroom tonight. And Audrey, you have been looking into the case tonight. What else can you tell us?
According to the warrant for their arrest, both are being labeled causing cruel and excessive physical pain to their 6-week-old child. These are the mugshots of 19-year-old Emma Grace Pittman and 35-year-old David James. They're both charged with cruelty to children in first degree and aggravated battery. After filing the discovery of their 6-week-old child in their home on Goolsby Road in Blythe on October 10th, descriptions of malicious and severe injuries include skull fractures to multiple sides of the infant's head, bleeding inside and outside of his brain, as well as bruising in 7 different areas, including their arms, knees, and chest. The child was then transported to Children's Hospital and is in critical condition.
All right, thank you for checking in on that, Audrey. We're now going to toss things over to First Alert meteorologist Emily Acton. Emily, looking pretty clean for the first part of the week, maybe some rain later on.
Yeah, definitely, Craig. We've had a pretty decent weekend, maybe a little bit on the chillier side for our Sunday overcast, so that definitely made it feel a little bit cooler out there. But if we're looking at what we can expect for the next couple of hours, rainfall chances are going to stick around, and there's some light mist going on across the CSRA here in Augusta. We're seeing really light rainfall totals, or rainfall falling down. Very small rainfall totals there, but that's going to continue for the next several hours. But once we get into the early morning for our Monday, things are going to be dry, starting to clear up for us. So we have a pretty decent Monday to kick off. Definitely going to need the jacket, though, for the start of our work week. We'll warm up into those lower, maybe middle 60s for the highs. Might see the sun at times, but definitely going to be a cloudy start to the day, Craig.
Alrighty, thanks for the heads up. Now, 2 people are behind bars this weekend, and 1 person is dead following a traffic stop in Edgefield County that turned into a chase that ended in Aiken County. Here is some video from where the chase ended last night. The Edgefield County Sheriff's Office tells us the incident started with a traffic stop near the town of Johnston that turned into a chase with gunshots ringing out. While deputies were talking to the driver outside of the car, one of the passengers, who has been ID'd as Joseph Robertson, jumped in the driver's seat and drove off. During the chase, the Sheriff's Office says multiple gunshots were fired at deputies, and as Robertson attempted to enter I-20 at exit 18, he lost control of the car and crashed on the entrance ramp. He then ran from the scene in a wooded area where law enforcement later found Robertson, saying he had died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Also at 11, the Barnwell County Sheriff's Office is offering a $500 reward for information about a shooting that happened this morning. The Sheriff's Office Facebook page says it happened shortly after midnight on Quail Road. They say if you have any information that could lead to an arrest, just call the number right here on your screen. People came out today to take part in the Pace Day celebration, which is a fun bike ride fundraiser sponsored by Paceline, local nonprofit. The goal of today's event was to help raise money for innovative cancer research at the Georgia Cancer Center. We caught up with the project lead at Paceline, who shared with us why their partnership with the Georgia Cancer Center is so important.
I mean, it is the heart of what we do. Everything we do is to support the Cancer Center and the researchers over there. The work they're doing is incredible. We provide what we call seed funding for the researchers, so it's the money to help them get their projects off the ground so that they can then go and apply for those multi-million-dollar grants.
And if you want to contribute to Paceline's fundraiser, you have until December to donate, and you can head to our website at wrdw.com for that link. Now, the Aiken County Sheriff's Office and North Augusta Public Safety kicked it around for a good cause earlier today at a first responder kickball tournament. All the money was raised, donated to the American Cancer Society, and they did it to bring awareness around the issue of cancer. And a Facebook post from the Aiken County Sheriff's Office says they earned the bragging rights to congratulate them as the winners. Now, the United Auto Workers strike hit 1 month today. How workers are feeling, coming up next on News 12 at 11. Emily?
Well, we are already cooling off into those 50s as we head into the overnight hours. We'll cool off a few more degrees, but we'll warm back up for our Monday. I'll have a look at your 7-day coming up after the break.
When I need a pair.
Now, two NBA legends, Shaquille O'Neal and Allen Iverson, never played together, but now they are teaming up to help Reebok become a leader in the sports world. The shoe company named O'Neal president of basketball and Iverson the vice president. Reebok is trying to rebuild its reputation in team sports after it severed ties with Adidas. Company executives say they plan to fully relaunch its basketball division by 2025. Now, Halloween may be a few weeks away, but a certain concert film is scaring out the competition this weekend at the box office. Well, see this weekend's top 5 films coming up next. Emily?
Well, we're going to start off our Monday with temperatures in the low 50s, but we'll warm up into those middle 60s by the afternoon. I'll have a check on your forecast, and there's some rain in it coming up after the break.
Starting at 5:30 on News 12.
Well, Halloween is getting closer, but the scariest thing at movie theaters this weekend was the overwhelming dominance of a certain concert film. David Daniel has early estimates for the weekend box office top 5.
She's not ready yet. The range of her powers are still growing.
The creator fell to 5th place, pulling in $4.3 million. $5.7 million puts Saw X at number 4. Paw Patrol, the mighty movie, dug up $7 million to take 3rd place.
Body in the blood! Body in the blood!
As expected, The Exorcist Believer lost the top spot, scaring up $11 million for a 10-day domestic total of $45 million.
Welcome to the Eras Tour.
Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour, was number 1 with a bullet. The movie version of the superstar's mega-popular concert tour opened with $96 million in ticket sales. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
And 7 out of every 10 movie tickets sold in North America this weekend were for Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour. Well, we're now going to check in with First Alert meteorologist Emily Acton. Emily, do we have any sort of bad blood with the weather going into this week?
Oh, look at you.
I'm trying.
I love it. Craig, have you seen the film, or are you going to?
No, I feel like that would be my one chance to actually get in on the Swift craze that's going through the nation.
Yeah, well, I know that you're a big movie guy, so that's what I was wondering.
Oh, we'll see what happens. If I can get a ticket, that's the first thing.
True. Interesting there. I liked your little toss. I don't have a Taylor reference, so I dropped the ball on that one. But anyways, I can tell you about the weather. There we go. Seeing a small chance of rain that's actually currently happening right now across the CSRA, and that's not even all of us, just a light patch over the city of Augusta, but That's all that we're going to see. We're going to cool down overnight tonight. Right now, we're in those middle 50s. We'll cool off a few more degrees, be in those lower 50s to start off our Monday. So do not forget a jacket as you head out the door because it's going to be a little chilly out there. But like I said, a couple of those light showers passing through the CSRA, probably not going to measure up to anything. But to start off our Monday, things are looking good. Might be a little bit on the cloudy side throughout the greater part of the day, but we'll still see the sun at times. Temperatures will warm up into those middle 60s, and then we can expect clear conditions overnight. So to start off our Tuesday, a little bit cooler in those upper 40s for the overnight lows. And then throughout the afternoon, we'll warm back up into those middle and maybe even upper 60s. So definitely a warmer day for us on Tuesday. But let's take a look at the big picture here. This is the jet stream for us. This is where we basically get our weather or our different weather systems, I should say. Cooler air is moving in and it's starting to move in right now. So Monday's going to be on the cooler side. Tuesday, still going to be on the cooler side. We'll warm up a little bit come Wednesday, Thursday, and I'm talking temperatures in the lower 70s, so not anything too crazy there. But then we have that cold front dipping back down come Friday, and that's actually going to bring some rainfall to our area. So throughout the greater part of the day Friday, the models are pretty consistent with rainfall. So definitely keep that in mind as you are making those plans. But again, as we get closer to time, that's when we can fine-tune the exact time frame of it. But as of right now, it's really looking throughout the greater part of the day on Friday. Unfortunately, I know we have lots of stuff going on, but give it a few days, maybe things will change. Nonetheless, Craig, we're starting off on the cooler side this week. Then we'll warm up Wednesday into those lower 70s, mostly sunny sky conditions. Then that rain's coming through with that cold front. But hey, after that, Saturday, Sunday, sunny sky conditions. Temperatures are going to be right around 70 for the highs. Overnight lows in the 40s, but I'm holding on for next weekend. I mean, that looks like great weather. Whenever you're maybe standing directly in the sunlight, that's when it really feels warm out there. I think that's a pretty solid day, I would say.
Right now, jacket's on standby, but I'm probably going to have to just have a permanent one in my car moving forward. Well, coming up in sports, Jags volleyball looks to their past to build on their future. Stick around to find out why. And as we head into break, here's a live look at Manhattan and your winning lotto numbers.
We're here at the grand opening of Jim Hudson Automotive Group. On your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
Hey, it's no secret that something is brewing in Christenberry. The Augusta University women's volleyball team has a recipe for success, and they really haven't had to make any changes to the recipe to get it right.
If you want to find out where it all started, you have to flip back the calendar.
It's actually the seasons before. I was going to say the 8 previous seasons, because every year has built upon the previous year, and so it's been a labor of love. So over the course of 6 to 8 years, we have finally reached this point where now we have 16 players and we're 4 deep in every position, which is a nice headache to have.
They're willing to look past the Advil for now. The Jags have appeared in the NCAA tournament in 4 of the past 5 seasons. Last year, they fell in the second round.
It helped with the recruiting process because when you're winning, better players continue to look your way. So we were able to get some, better players to make us even stronger on the roster. But also just kind of coming to gel together and just realize that the bar has been raised.
This year, 6 transfers joined Sharon Coral's squad. 3 came from Division I programs.
It was a whole new team, and so it took more time to kind of get gelling as a team and as a family, more so than the X's and O's.
It's paid off so far. They're 15-4 and sit second in the Peach Belt behind Lander. With a month left of regular season play, they're turning the dial all the way up.
Now we're on, mid-season, mid-stride, that they're competing against each other in practice, and then when it turns to game time, then they're turning the competition to the opponent, which is great.
On over to the Falcons. You better see it to believe it. We haven't seen Kyle Pitts score a touchdown yet this season. 6 weeks in, and here it is. Make it 7-3. This was the only time the Falcons had the lead. They had it close in the 4th. Only a touchdown and 2 away from tying it. but Desmond Ritter is getting to be as consistent as church on a Sunday. Even Bon Jovi can't fix this. It was the second time in 3 weeks that Ritter's had 3 turnovers in a game, and it came at a cost.
You got to take advantage of the opportunities. We got to find, we got to turn the ball over. We've turned it over too much lately. We're making it harder on ourselves. Like I said, you can find a lot of ways to excuse and make excuses and rationalize, but the bottom line is we didn't win the game. We didn't get the job done. Washington did.
It's frustrating anytime you lose. Like I said, there's a lot of points where, we could have done better. We could have put points on the board. We could have done this, and we just didn't. So, like I said, whatever it was, we have to go figure it out and be better.
The light at the end of the tunnel. The defense sacked Sam Howell 5 times. Elias Campbell's big number 100, a big part of that. The Falcons kept the Commanders to 193 yards of total offense. To put that in perspective, the Falcons had double that. The Panthers forced Miami into an early 14-point hole, giving some hope to a team that has not won a single game yet this season. Adam Thielen picked up 100 receiving yards and then some for the second straight game. The flame of hope quickly dwindled when the league's best rushing team took off and didn't look back after coming up short on their first 2 drives. The Dolphins scored on their next 3 and take it right out of the Panthers' hands, 42-21. Carolina is now 0-6, the worst start for the Panthers since they went 0-7 in '98. Emily?
Well, we didn't see any rainfall today, but there's a couple of light showers going on across the CSRA, so these totals might change a little bit. But I'm going to send things over to Studio B with Vic and Neil with Law Call.
And thanks so much, Emily. Workers' comp is our topic tonight, and we're going to learn tonight that there are limits on payouts.
Yes, there are limits on payouts, limits on the time periods in which you can receive the benefits, and we'll explain it all tonight.
Been hurt on the job? Give us a call right now, 844-706-1212. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
If you're on 2023 Sierra Denali 5.3-liter V8 light-duty models, plus get $2,500 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
When it comes to furniture, one size just doesn't fit all. But one collection does. The new Modular One from Rooms to Go. Perfectly designed to fit any space, any style, and any budget. Just choose your pieces and easily build your perfect room. The best part, because it's Rooms to Go, it's not only super affordable, it's super comfortable too. I'm Julianne Huff, and this is what's possible at Rooms to Go.
Alrighty, one more story before we go. Is this cute or what? Parker, the 4-legged honorary mayor of a Colorado town, marked the arrival of the colder weather by posing on a snowy mountain as snow cannons blast out powder behind him. The video was posted to the Snow Dogs official X account, and he's the official mascot for the Loveland ski area. Parker became famous in 2020 when he was voted honorary mayor of Georgetown, Colorado by the town of board selectmen. I think this has to do with all those Air Bud movies. When dogs can win every sport known to mankind, you're going to elect the mayor.
I guess I'm moving to Grovetown, Colorado.
I need a ticket right now.
That is
a really tough day at work to be the mayor.
Man.
Yeah.
Certainly the bestest boy, though. Are we seeing any kind of cold conditions like that at CSRA?
No. There you go. We're not seeing any, but cooler temperatures for us, Craig. If you want to say, hey, 40s, is that your cold weather for you? Then maybe. We'll see overnight lows in the 40s this week, and then some showers will come into play come Friday. But once we get into next weekend, things are looking a lot better, a lot sunnier for us, and a little bit cooler, Craig.
All right, well, thanks for that heads up, Emily, and that's all our time here at News 12 at 11. I'm Craig Allison, and always thank you for sticking by and watching. Here's Law Call coming up next after this.